Yeah, this with Erik and Virginia is troubling to me. I do not like it at all. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel, being Simone Iman. I am Simone Iman, and if you're new here, I do a little bit of everything. My channel is my personal diary. Sometimes it will be television show reviews. I do a lot of shopping hauls, product reviews, product suggestions. I do a little bit of hair, natural hair care. Well, not natural, I'm text-laxed, but you get what I'm saying. If you're into things like that though, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so that you know every time I upload a video. And here very shortly we're going to get into some health and fitness, because that's pretty much my life at this point, and it's a lifestyle for me. So yes, subscribe, look forward to those videos. Today we are here for Married at First Sight review of episode 12 of season 12, I believe. It's something about being dog dads or something. Let's get into it. To open up, I'm going to talk about the shared scenes. So the episode is loosely based on like the men being dog dads and all the relationships with the dogs, and they're saying this is the first time in math's history that all of the dads, all of the men are dog dads. And what I saw in the footage is that really, you guys, the relationship between the husbands and the wives very closely mimics the relationship between the dogs and the husbands. Vincent, for example, he loves Chloe. He adores Chloe. He does so much for Chloe. He spends so much quality time with Chloe. Is coochie coochie coo with Chloe, because that's how Vincent and Brianna get along with one another. Jacob and Sophie are Jacob and Haley. Like, they get along, but there's a lot of distractions in between. You know, it's this dog, Chloe, who doesn't, you know, like any other dog, and that causes friction and tension, and it just very closely mimics their interactions with one another. Like, it's great a lot of times, but then when it's bad, it's bad. They get to snapping and biting, you know, mostly Jacob get to snapping and biting, and then Ryan and Miska get along, but it's very surface, it's not deep. He's doing all these holistic things. He's trying to go to training sessions with her, and it's really like, dude, can we really get to the meat and potatoes of it? Just be my dad. Like, we ain't really gotta go through all of this. Dude, can we really just have sex already? We ain't gotta do all the bells and whistles. We know that's how Clara feels. And then Erik and Rocky, y'all, he is literally treating that dog the way he treats Haley. Not Haley, Virginia. He wants to control them. Who know a dog that got manners? Drop down in the comments. Let me know if your dog got manners. I need to know. But he's trying to change this dog's personality. He's trying to change who this dog is. And that's exactly what he's doing to Virginia. He's trying to change who Virginia is. And then Chris and Bentley. Chris verbatim said, I don't give a fuck about Bentley. Oh, he don't care about Paige either. But anyway, I thought those scenes were cool. Like, getting to see them be dad dogs. It's good for the fluff episodes, you know. Then the guys meet up and they talk to one another, and mostly they talk about the dogs, and Erik takes that as an opportunity to rag on Rocky and criticize Rocky. Jacob tells him, you know, it's not really cool to overtrain dogs. Like, you still want a dog to be a dog. You don't want them to just sit in the corner quiet. Like, that's not why we get dogs. And then Vincent says you have to be able to compromise and know and admit when you're wrong. Like, a lot of this is about concession. Cleaning and countertops they talk about, and then Vincent and Ryan are like dropping their gems. Because of all of them, I think, of course, Vincent and Brianna have the most flourishing relationship. Clara and Ryan are good. They don't have any friction, but Clara isn't bringing her full self to the table. That's one thing. She even says it in the episode. She doesn't express to him when she's feeling any kind of way. She pretty much keeps it to herself. But I mean, they're healthy in the grand scheme of things, and compared to the other couples, they're doing damn well. Erik and Jacob just sitting there with the struggle face, making faces, because Jacob is very guilty of he doesn't see his wrongdoings in the moment and just shut his damn mouth. He has to embarrass her, embarrass himself, cause a lot of friction, and then come back later and say, I'm sorry, I overreacted. Like, how about you just not do that in the first place? Thanks. We'll talk about Haley and Jacob now, since we're on their page. This is after they've had their 1 month anniversary, and you know, he kind of told her off at the table at the vineyard, and he's again had to eat crow and apologize, and he ought to be over that by now. Haley's telling him she just wants to have fun, and I think that's the biggest issue with them. Jacob cannot let loose. It's something about Haley or himself or their relationship or these cameras that just do not allow him to have fun and let loose. But at the end of the conversation, they're laughing and smiling. I noticed that he had on one of her shirts that she bought him, like that baseball tee, but he still had them damn cowboy boots on. I guess you gotta give a little and get a little, huh? They go-kart racing and she wins, and even in that moment he has on like his cool Top Gun Tom Cruise shades, but he's still a hermit crab. Like, no life, no personality. Where are the jokes? We want to laugh. In the later scene, they cook together, and still very like, he's monotone, he's mundane. I want to see, I don't know if y'all remember, like in the first couple of episodes, she talks about the wildest thing he's ever done, and he's like, his friends dared him to buy a man thong and wear it on the beach or something. That's the Jacob that Haley wants to see. Where is he? They're cooking dinner together and they're talking about his exes, and he has like really weird ex stories. I guess that's where some of his like dry humor comes out, because he's like, yeah, it was the pumpkin lady, and you know, and those things were kind of quirky and funny, and it made her, you know, want to know more. They sit down and eat, and they cook fresh Brussels sprouts as opposed to the frozen ones he's used to, and she has like a little salmon fillet and some Brussels, and he got like 6 pieces of steak. He got like a lot of steak on his plate and some Brussels sprouts. But he's boring. Painful interactions these are. She's like, I always feel like I'm interviewing you. You know, you're not asking me anything. You aren't interested in my life. Like, where's the how was your day? You know, do you want to try anything new? What do you want to do this weekend? Like, where is that at? That's what we want to see. They end up going on a double date with Brianna and Vincent to a pumpkin patch, and those relationships, those couples are on opposite ends of the married at first sight spectrum. One is thriving and doing well, and one is struggling tremendously. They share what they've gone through, and Haley always feels like she's interviewing Jacob, and then she's like, well, ask me something, and it's very dry, and then they move on to the next subject. I think my assessment of it is that he really wants Haley to like him. A little bit of what Brianna and Vincent were going through. He wants her to like him so much that he's holding back his true self because he doesn't think she'll like him. That is what I'm betting on. Like, that's why he can't be South Beach man thong Jacob, because he feels like she'll judge him, and she already doesn't get his dry humor. So if he's like, you know, over the top with his personality, she'll pull back even more. I'm thinking that's what they have going on. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but that's what it's given. Like, he's just afraid to be himself with her. I think that Jacob was really open with Brianna, and they have got great conversation, and she's like trying to coach him through, and Vincent is just like listening to Haley share her experience. He doesn't have any real insight. He just tells her, you know, if you like yoga, take him to do yoga, do things that you like with him. And I mean, she's already started doing that because she suggested they go to the go-kart place, and I'm pretty sure she picked the winery or the vineyard that they went to. Jacob got to step it up. He got to step it up. But I feel like he's self-deprecating. He's very much so that person. So I think he just already knows that she won't pick him, and she won't want to stay married on decision day. And so he's not really going to put a lot of effort into trying to make her change her mind. He's just like, I'm here because I signed the contract. And that's it. If Brianna and Vincent aren't the cutest maths couple ever, then I just don't know. Like, they running a race with Imani, and what's Imani's husband name? Woody. Okay, so they talk about their 1 month anniversary and what they liked about it, and she was like, I was so happy to tell you. Or he was like, you were like, I got pockets. Girls, we know if it's got pockets, it's the one. I think that they have a great dynamic. They talk about the dates they want to do, and she listening like, are these trips or dates? It's a little bit of both, but they're looking forward to the future, and that's great. They go on a bike ride, and he's like, you know, he's usually so much healthier, so much more into fitness, but quarantine 15 done hit him, and it's all in that midsection. Okay, they bet on racing on the bikes, and she's like $500. She was like, you really want to do that? He said, hell no. Let's bet on washing dishes. Shit. So they do, and I think, you know, it was just something cute to say, because you really can't race on a busy street, like, but it was a good experience to see them, you know, do on camera as a couple. They're in marital bliss right now, and I feel like he saw the errors in his issues and his ways, and he fixed it. You know, he make her go through all that unnecessary shit, begging him, crying, talking to Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal and Viviana. Like, I'm wrong, huh? Okay, let me correct. Self-correcting. Come on, we old enough for that. Brianna, Paige, and Virginia meet at Brianna's, and Virginia says that she's had a lot of anxiety while she's, you know, been in this process. I think that it's good for the women like Virginia and Paige who are going through so much to talk to Brianna, because Brianna is in a positive place, you know. She's gonna give positive reinforcement. She's happy right now. She's doing well in her marriage. So if you want to convince me, girl, come up here and listen to my, because she has a very sweet voice. Listen to my sweet voice, my positive reinforcements, my advice, and it just makes for a good scene. Virginia says that she wants to see a therapist because what she's dealing with the anxiety with Erik, you know, it's important for their relationship, but also she says that Erik really isn't like big on mental health and the awareness of it and the importance of it, and it's something that she's gonna have to get control of, because it's affecting her marriage. Paige says she got 2 therapists. You need another one. And then Brianna says she saw a therapist before she got married because she didn't want to bring her stuff into her marriage and have to work through it with him. And it's good she did that, because, you know, that's kind of what Vincent did. He brought his stuff into their marriage, and it caused friction in the beginning. Imagine his stuff and her stuff, and nobody's dealt with anything, you know. So her proactiveness in dealing with those issues and talking to somebody about it before she got married is a beautiful and productive thing to do. Clara and Ryan do, I thought they were saying tantra yoga. I probably should have Googled it, but it's like some kind of like partner yoga, a little erotic. The lady asked them why they're doing it, and they're very surface, and I don't think Clara is generally like so shallow and surface when it comes to her relationships. I think that she's taking Ryan's lead. Ryan seems private. Ryan seems to be in denial about the issues in their relationship, and she's trying not to ruffle his feathers, Clara, but that's not serving her. So the lady is like, why do y'all want to do this? And they're like, oh, we said we wanted to try yoga. We're not having sex. Yeah, I want to build intimacy between us, and I'm thinking that maybe this will spark a flame. That was the truth. But she couldn't give that to the lady. I didn't like it. Tantra yoga was basically sexual positions. It was given very much Kama Sutra with no penetration. It looked fun. It looked cool. I feel like every time they would get in deep moments, Ryan would like laugh it off and make a joke about something. When they were head to head like that, I feel like Clara was like trying to be telepathic, like, I want to have sex with you, let's have sex today. Like, I felt like she was trying to give him the message, forehead to forehead, that it's time. it's time. You know, one thing I can say is I'm kind of tired of talking about it. Like every episode, like they got to get past this. But they both say it didn't do nothing for them. Ryan says that he wants to go to training with Miska, her dog, and I think that he took a very different approach than Erik, and we'll talk about Erik and how he approached Rocky. He's like, you know, it's training for me, not for the dog, just so I can become a better pet dad, or dog dad, or whatever you call it. He wants to be better at it, and he's putting the onus on him, not Miska. Miska's a dog at the end of the day. Totally different approach than Erik gave. Erik was like chastising, blaming Rocky. Rocky need manners, bitch. You ain't got no manners. But this is about Clara and Ryan. They were talking, and he gives her sexy eyes. You know, he's a very big, like, sexy gazer, but there's literally no sex. And then he comes back from the boys' talk, and they're talking about, like, what he discussed with the boys, and they talk about themselves, and he says, you know, building trust is important for him, and I guess he has a shirt that says trust is sexy, and that she'll know he's ready when he wears the shirt. And it's just really too much at the end of the day. I think they need to have a line in the sand, and you know, it's coming, because they're only going to be married for 2 more weeks before they have to make a decision. I think they'll stay together, because I think eventually Ryan will drop them draws. But it just puts Clara in a horrible position. And she later, you know, in that night, she goes to talk to the women. What looks like Haley, Paige, and I want to say Virginia. And she's just like frustrated about it. We do everything but, she says, y'all, she says she gets him off every night. That's mistake number 1, sis. You giving. What are you getting? Is he getting you off? And then one of the girls said that, and you just have nothing. Clara, at this point, sis, I don't feel sorry for you, because you're allowing the madness. Baby, you need to lock them jaws till he dropped them draws. Okay? Paige and Chris, ain't much to see here. Paige opens up her scenes and she talks to her brother and her sister-in-law. So she has a model of marriage, young, what looks to be healthy marriage. We don't know these people, but from the way her brother was talking to her, he got some kind of sense. And that's what I liked about her talking to her brother. He talked about, you know, his advice to her was faith-based. He did talk about the Lord, but it was a lot of common sense in there too. And that's what Paige be missing. She just faith, God. Girl, God gave you common sense and free will. And I feel like that's what her brother was getting at. She tells her brother about how Chris is saying he wants a divorce because he's going to work it out with his baby mama yet again. So I'm interested to know if he done told her this for the 3rd time and she's still stuck on stupid, or if this is something that she's repeating that has happened in the past. But I'm pretty sure it's the 3rd time. She says that she feels like her time has been wasted and she's devalued herself and lost herself, and you allowed it. Okay? You could have been shooting scenes with Erik and Virginia and Brianna and Vincent. I would have shot scenes with every couple on the season. Okay? And Chris' ass would have been left in the dust. But her brother coached her through, and I thought that he gave her sound advice, and I hope she takes it. And then Chris talks to his mama. I loved his mama little hairstyle. I usually see white ladies with their hair like that, but that looked cute. That was a cute older lady hairstyle with the flips and it worked for her. They have dinner, and his mom is honest with him, and she's like, well, you know, I see why she don't want to talk to you. This is a lot. And that's his only gripe. She won't communicate with him unless it's on camera. Well, you had a baby, and then told her you wasn't attracted to her, and then told her your baby mama needed a brand new Mercedes Benz, and then made her sit down and talk to your baby mama. So look, the scales aren't equal here. if she ain't answer the phone a couple times, I mean, she's still good. She got about 10 more offenses before she catch up to you. His mom is understanding though. His mama say she gets why she doesn't talk to him, and then he tells his mom that basically he wants a divorce and that he can't play house. When have you ever played house? When you was between her legs? Because I guarantee he got up and went home after that. He's never lived in an apartment that Mavs got for them. So I'm interested to know about this playing house, where he gets that from. And then his mom is like, well, you know, I'm sad. I'm disappointed. Uh-oh, we lost focus. Where we at? I hate that for them. But at the end of the day, you know, it's no use to sticking in something that you're really not, you know, going nowhere with. Move on. I'm with you, Mom. I'm with you. Yeah, this with Erik and Virginia is troubling to me. I do not like it at all. They're talking in their opening scene. They're all excited about going flying, and you know, they're talking about whatever they're talking about, and she's a little distracted by her dog, and he's like, are you gonna listen to me, or are you gonna keep doing this? The control, it permeates the room. He is super controlling. He takes it as his role to be a disciplinarian, not just with her dogs, but I feel like he treat her that way too. He took it super personal that her dog ran away from him, and she's like, well, he doesn't run away from me. The dog don't know you. You're a stranger. The dog, you only been in the dog's life for 30 days. Why do you think that you come into this dog's life and it's a puppy, dog's a year old, and he's automatically gonna listen to your every command? Like, life don't work like that. Not just with dogs, with any living creature, literally. Erik he's an issue. She says that you want kids, and I already have 3. And when she said that, that cut him deep. He did not like that. I guess because she's already on the fence about having kids, but he didn't like that joke that she told about being a pet mom and how that could replace them having children. He says that the dog needs discipline and that the dog is coming between their relationship. Dog need discipline. He lost me this whole episode. Virginia storms out and she cries to the producers that they had a fight last night, and they show us the fight, and I couldn't really make out what they were saying, but I don't like his tone when he talks to her, and the fact that she cries every time they talk about something difficult. She's dying a little bit inside every time they have a difficult conversation, and I don't like that for her. Love don't feel like that. And they telling each other they love them. But did y'all notice this episode? He was saying I love you at the end of each conversation, and Virginia wasn't hitting them with them I love you twos. She came back and she says that she doesn't like pretending like everything is good with them, because they did have a fight last night. What it boiled down to is, I guess they went out somewhere and they were drinking, and she disappeared for 30 or 40 minutes, because they said 30 and 40. She said she went to the bathroom and she went to the bar, and he's like tripped out because she was gone for 30 minutes. She says he didn't text her, he didn't call her or anything, so she didn't even realize that it was an issue until he, I guess, confronted her about it. But every time they talk about those kind of things, he blows up on her. You know, she's like, you know, giving her opinion, and she's like, what you're calling protective, I feel like it's controlling. And he's like, well, you can think whatever the fuck you want to think, I don't care. Whoa, red flag. Y'all, it's a problem. I feel like he's emotionally abusive. I feel like he's manipulative, because after he goes off on her, he then tells her, everyone leaves me. Why you think? Why you think everyone leaves you? You toxic. Come on, you toxic. Own it. You toxic. And that's probably how his daddy treat his mama. He got that from somewhere. He becomes the victim all of a sudden. When he knows he's wrong, he then makes himself the victim. You can't keep making your wife cry over simple conversations and not do some kind of introspective work and be like, what is wrong with me that I keep making this girl cry? Like, I don't get it. She says that she's feeling like she's drowning with him. Red flag. Red flag. And he always tells her, if you don't like it, you can leave. Yo, he always talking about he done this before, he been there before, he got all this experience. That's a rookie move. I was doing that when I was 25 with my little boyfriend, okay? That you don't like, you can leave, it's over, we breaking up. That's rookie. That's childish. It's toxic. It's toxic. He gives her anxiety. Dealing with him gives her anxiety. I hope she make the right decision on decision day. He wants to control her. He wants to control her dogs. And when she talks to him, she cowers. And I don't like that. She's so full of life and personality. And when she's with him, she's like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. When he talks about her dog, he makes it seem like her dog is such a nuisance and like his dog is so much better. And that's a trigger for her. I think it's a trigger for her personally too. I feel like she feels like that's, you know, it's an analogy for who she is and who he is. He doesn't have to change anything about himself. He's perfect. But her and her dog got all these issues and they gotta rise to his standard. Like, no. Then they show a surveillance cam of him, like, I guess that's what that is in their apartments. Him blowing up her again and telling her he's done and how she's acting crazy. And in his interview, he says that Virginia needs to step up. But what do you need to do? He got all this criticism for Virginia, no criticism for himself. And he's literally toxic, mean, manipulative, nasty, controlling. You don't see that? He needs to watch the show so he can see how he looks on television. Okay, you guys, that's all we got for this episode of Married at First Sight. It was a good episode. These are like the fluffy filler episodes. I'm interested to see what next episode will bring though, because they sit down with the experts and they full glam. And I feel like that's when they took these pictures. This picture right here, this cast picture on the episode. That's all I got, y'all. Give me a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.